Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the domain range problems for the real functions. So we have selected a few sums. So we will gradually move from the easier sums to the difficult sums. Okay. So you have already seen what is a domain and what is a range. So domain is typically what the set of x values for any real functions, and range is the set of y values. That means, as you know, that this x is a dependent variable, it's independent variable, and whereas y is dependent variable. That means this y, which is fx, this is actually depending on the value of x. So this is independent variable and this is dependent variable. So we are first finding out what possible values x can have in this function. Okay, and for all those values, what possible values y may have in this particular function. Okay, so that is our aim. Now real functions means we are always considering the real values for the functions. Any undefined situation we will not consider, we will not take into consideration. Okay, so first of all, let us see, it's given that root over 5 minus x. Now as we know that 5 minus x under root means it should be positive or 0. It cannot be negative. If it is negative, then what will happen? It will become undefined. So what we write in solution, we can write that 5 minus x is something which is greater than equal to 0 for all values of x, those are real. Okay, so that means this inverted a, this is a symbol. So this means for all values. So for all real values of x, this is true. That means next step you can write this. That means x is basically lesser than equal to 5. So the domain of this function, you can say it's actually lesser than equal to 5. That means it will maybe highly negative. So negative infinity till 5, and it will be it's kind of an open closed interval. So this is the df. Df means the domain for this particular function. Now let us come to the range part. Now range part means it's 5 minus x is already greater than equal to 0. So since we get this thing, that means 5 minus x whole square, if you take out its root, okay, if you take out its root, so that will also be greater than equal to 0, which is actually the substitution of y. So replacement of y. So here we get y greater than equal to 0. That means RF is actually all possible values R plus. It's all possible value greater than 0 and equal to it. So we can write this thing. It's a closed open interval. So what we find that x can be highly negative, but x cannot be more than 5. Maximum it can be up to 5. So this is number 1. Number 2, let us see. Number 2, the strategy is look at the denominator. Okay, if the function fx, okay, one point, this y, you remember that y is fx. You will think that what is y? So I will tell you, this y is actually fx. Okay, so we are actually finding out the values for y. So you can substitute this thing by y, this whole thing. Okay. Okay, let us proceed to the next sum. So that is y equals to, you can say, x plus 1 by 2x plus 1. Now just look at it. The denominator should be non-zero, because if it is 0, then what happens? If it is 0, it becomes undefined. So what we write? We write here that 2x plus 1 should be non-zero, not equal to 0. Okay. That means x is not equal to minus half. So that means we get x which is not equal to minus half. I hope you have understood this. That means x can take all possible values, all possible real values except this minus half. So we can write that x belongs to R, x belongs to, therefore we can write x belongs to R minus half. That means this minus half is something which is being subtracted from capital R. So this will be the domain for the this will be the domain of the function. So df, if I write the same thing, I will write that R minus half. Okay, so this is the domain of this. Now let us come to y value. That means we try to find out the RF of it. Okay, so what we do for RF, we will try to cross multiply this and we will write 2xy plus y equals to x plus 1. We will try to write x in terms of y. So just see, I have written x in terms of y. That means I have substituted, taken common and written. So again you get the policy you have to apply, that the non-zero denominator. That means 2y minus 1, this is a non-zero quantity. That means it implies that y will not be equal to half. That means if y equals to half, what happens? If y equals to half, then x becomes undefined. So to avoid this situation, we get this. So that means RF of this will be all real values except the value half. Okay. So these are the two sums we have seen for the domain range, and now we are going to proceed to the number 3. So here we get question number 3. We have written something x by 1 plus x square. So we are going to find out the df and rf of it. Now see the denominator. It's 1 plus x square. So we are always expecting what? We are always expecting a non-zero denominator. So now here this 1 plus x square, it's already non-zero, always. Okay, so it's for all values of x real, this is possible, because see, x square is positive, and if you add 1 with it, so it will give you a positive quantity. So it's valid for all real values of x. So df, so this is true. So you can write, since this is not equal to 0 for all values of x, df will be r. Okay, that means x can take up all real values. Now for the range part, what we need to do, we again cross multiply this. So here we cross multiply, if you see, so we write x square y plus y equals to x. Hence we can write something like, if you take common, that is bring everything on one side, so you will get x square y minus x plus y. So this is the thing. Now see, you have to study the discriminant. Why the discriminant? Because since we know that x belongs to real number, that means this is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation with real roots. So if roots are real, what happens? You know that the discriminant will be greater than equal to 0. So we get discriminant greater than equal to 0 since roots are real. Why roots are real? Because x belongs to R. So what is the root of this? Root over it's b square minus 4ac. b square means it's 1 minus 4ac. So it will be 4y square. So this is the d, which is this 1 minus 4y square. Now when we factorize this, we get something like 1 plus 2y into 1 minus 2y is greater than equal to 0. So better you do one thing, you solve the number line where each of this factor, if you equate to 0, you get what? The first factor, if you equate to 0, you get y equals to half. and this factor if you equate to 0, y equals to minus half. That means the number line is broken into 3 intervals. The number line is broken into 3 intervals. So we are going to put random values from each of these interval and test whether it satisfies the given inequation or not. So what we do, I take a value more than half. So if I put something like 5, this is positive but this is negative, so this is not satisfied. So if I put something in between it, that means 0. So if you put 0 for y, so 0 and 0, so 1 into 1, it's satisfied, getting positive. Understand this, I am taking any random value from this interval and putting over here for the values of y. Okay, say minus half, below minus half you can choose any value, say minus 10. If you put minus 10 in place of y, then you will get a negative over here, but you will get a positive over here. That means the product will be negative. So this is not taken. So what we got all these and this ends minus half and half. These are also satisfying because if you put this, you will get equal to 0. So what happens here? I see that y gets between minus half and half. Please look at it. Y is actually there between minus half and half. That means this is the range. So range becomes is a closed interval minus half comma half. Okay, so this is the entire sum. This is a little difficult than the previous sums we have seen. So we will now move to number 4. So the next sum we see, we have written another sum, number 4, of a different type. So what we see, there is a pure quadratic over here. So we are going to get the domain and range out of it. So what we will do, again we will consider the same thing, that is the non-zero denominator. So that means x square plus 6x plus 5 will not be equal to 0. Okay, that means if it is 0, then what happens? Y gets undefined. So when you factorize this, you get x plus 5 into x plus 1, which is not equal to 0. That means x is not equal to minus 5 and minus 1. That means x actually takes up all the values except minus 5 and minus 1. That means the domain of this will be all real values except minus 5 and minus 1. So these two values are omitted for the x, that means the domain. Now for the range, what we do, we cross multiply. We cross multiply means the same as the previous things, we will cross multiply. So see what I have written. I have cross multiplied this with this, and I have brought everything to one side, and I have taken common. So what I got a simple quadratic equation for x. So since we know that x has got real roots, so that means we have to again show that the discriminant of this quadratic equation is greater than or equal to 0. So we have to find out the discriminant of it. Now what is the discriminant? So b square, you get 6y minus 3 whole square, b square minus 4ac. So y minus 1 into 5y minus 10. Okay, so this thing is greater than equal to 0. So this is the discriminant of this. So we try to solve this and see, let's see what happens. So I will solve it and show you up what it comes. So what I try to do, I have multiplied this thing and we got this. So another quadratic equation in y I got. So I have to solve this part. What is it? So let us do by method of completing square. That would be nice for this, because if you try to do Sridharacharya, it will be very long. So I do the method of I'll do some rough up over here. So that is maybe 4y square, then plus 2 into 4y, then 3. Okay, so I get a 24 over here. Then plus 9 I got. What is this? This is 3 square actually. So plus 9 I got, and I got a minus 40. So I got a minus 40. So this I am trying to do. So here I got 4y plus 3. Okay, this is whole square, which is equal to 40. Okay, that means if I take the square root of it, then I'll get something like 40 is what? It's 8 into 5, or you can say 4 into 20, 4 into, yes, 10. So I get something like 2 root 5. Okay, 4 into 10. So I got something like this after square rooting. So 4y plus 3 equals to this. So ultimately my y becomes it's minus 3 plus minus 2 root 10 whole divided by 4. Okay, minus 3 plus minus 2 root 10. Hope you understand this. So if I resolve this, I'll get something like minus 3 by 4, and this will be something like 2 by 4. That means root 10 by 2. Root 10 by 2 is root over 5 by 2. Okay, so this is a typical difficult y value we get, which we will try to put in factors over here. Let's see. So see, we have written two factors of this, considering these two values, minus 3 plus root over 5 by 2 and minus 3 minus root over 5 by 2. So this will be the typical factor of this whole expression. So obviously you are going to get two things over here. So there will be two values. One will be this minus 3 by 4 plus root over 5 by 2. So I write over here minus 3 by 4, okay, minus root over 5 by 2. This is one part, say this point, okay, and this point will be minus 3 by 4 plus root over 5 by 2. So these are the two values which breaks the number line into three parts, and then we have to consider that which value is getting satisfied for this or not. Now if I put something more than this, then what happens? We have to check for this. So incidentally, if I find that if I put a value more than this, say something like a bigger value like 10 or something like that, this is positive, this is also getting positive. So both of these are positive. So this value is taken. Product is positive. Now if I take some very negative value, this will be negative and this will also be negative. The product will be also positive. The product is positive. Remember, this bracket and this bracket, the product has to be positive. So this is also taken. Now if I take something like this, say a 0, say a value 0, if you put 0 over here, then what you will get? You will get something like this 2 will become plus, and then minus 3 by 4 minus 5 by 2. So it will be a square minus b square, it will become negative. So the product becomes negative. So this is not happening. So obviously for the range part, we get from minus infinity to this point, and then this point to plus infinity. So if I write the answer, so I don't know where to write the answer. So anyways, if I write the answer, where to write, I'll erase a part, say this part, otherwise it will not fit. So if I write the range over here, RF, please see, so this will be minus infinity comma this value, okay, that is minus 3 by 4. I will remove this bracket, minus root 5 by 2. So this side is included, so it's a open close interval union, then minus 3 by 4 plus root over 5 by 2 and 2 plus infinity. So this is closed open interval. So this will be the answer for the range of this problem. Okay, next sum we will see in number 5. So number 5 we get mod sum. Okay, so there is x plus 2 and divided by mod of x plus 2. Again we have to consider a non-zero denominator. So mod, we know that everything, any negative value it comes, it converts to positive. So only 0 will happen if x value is minus 2. So that you have to write that if x plus 2 always should be not equal to 0. That means x is not equal to minus 2. That means df, you can clearly say that it's r minus all r values, that means all real values except minus 2, because if you put minus 2 it becomes undefined. Okay, so this is the domain of the sum, domain of the function. Now for the range part, a very interesting thing is going to happen. Look at this, x plus 2. Okay, so if I write like this x plus 2 mod, so it will have two values only. Okay, either it is x plus 2 from the mod property. Please revise up the mod property, I have discussed over there also. So if x is more than minus 2 or equal to minus 2, okay, it's going to happen like this, and this will be minus of x plus 2. Okay, minus of x plus 2 if x is still negative than minus 2. That means if you put something like minus 3, it will become minus 1, and that minus will help you to make it positive. So these are the two values taken for everything. Now I remove this equal to also, because I know that it's never equal to minus 2. Already we know this, so I have removed this equal to minus 2. Now what happens? So either this y value will become what? X plus 2 by x plus 2. Okay, for all possible values which are greater than minus 2, or it will become x plus 2 by minus x plus 2 if x is lesser than minus 2. So this value, you can see it, what it becomes 1, it cancels out, and this value it becomes minus 1. So y typically has only two values, whatever you put the value for x, remember. So here we get the RF, as only minus 1 and 1. So this will be the RF for the real value function. Next we move to 6. So this number 6 is very important, you will find it everywhere almost, it's very common sum. So here 9 minus x square we find that is in the denominator, that should be positive. It cannot be negative because it is under the root. If it is negative it becomes imaginary. It cannot be 0 also. If it is 0 then it becomes undefined. In both the situation it gets undefined, so it's only positive. So from here you get 3 plus x and 3 minus x which is greater than 0. So you can solve the number line and you can test it where it is getting valid. So I find that if I put something more than 3, okay, it becomes invalid, because if you put 5 it becomes positive, this becomes negative, so the product is negative. So this bracket, this interval, it will be satisfied, so I put a tick. So I see that df is between minus 3 to 3, okay, and it should be open interval. It should be open interval because it cannot take the value minus 3 or neither it can take minus 3 nor it can take 3, because in both the situations the denominator will become 0. So the domain is -3 to 3 open interval. Now for the range part, what we do, first we square this thing. If we take out the square of both sides, we get some things like this, 1 by 9 minus x square. Okay. Now if we change this a little, we will get 9 minus x square equals to 1 by y square. Hence we get x square equals to 9 minus 1 by y square. Okay. Now just try to imagine that x is what? X is real value. So x square will be its positive or equal to 0. In this situation, can it be equal to 0? Just test. Yes, it can be. So x square can be greater than equal to 0. That means over here I put 9 minus 1 by y square. This is a replacement of x square. See over here. This is also greater than equal to 0. So I can simplify it a little, giving to 3 plus 1 by y and 3 minus 1 by y. Okay. So if I solve the number line over here, I'll get 1 by y equals to 3. Hence y equals to 1/3 or y equals to minus 1/3. So this is how the number line is broken into 3 intervals. So we will test putting some values over here. Say if I put some values more than 1/3, that is say 5 or something like that, this will be positive, and this will be also, if you put 5s, then it will what happen? 3 minus 1 by 5, that is a positive fraction, positive value. So the product will be positive, so this is happening. Okay. So if you put something in between, that means 0, say if you put 0, so then what happens? Then it becomes undefined. Or if you put something in between, say half or something like that, not half, it's in between something, it does not happen. Okay. Now if you put something very negative, say some kind of minus 10 or some value like that, it happens that it is going to be satisfied. So here it becomes minus 1 by 10 and it becomes plus 1 by 10, this will be satisfied. So we see that this y actually lies between minus 1/3 and 1/3. Okay. No, y actually lies between, just a second, it's either this part or this part. That means y belongs to either 1/3 to infinity. Okay. Or you can say, you can also write, I'll write this thing first, that would be better for this. If I write minus infinity to minus 1 by 3, okay, so that I'm going to write. Okay, so and union 1/3 of, but look at it, actually it deviates the function rule. Why so? Because this part is the negative value of y. So when you put some value, say x equals to, say anything like, say what to say, anything like say 1. So if you get 1 by root over 8 and that is plus minus, so for x equals to 1, just assume, just look at it, what is happening. For x equals to 1, you are getting 1 by root over 8 plus or 1 by root over 8 minus. Okay, these are the y values. So don't you think it's becoming 1 too many? That means it's actually breaking the rule for function. So this part is ignored, this negative part is ignored for the range, and we only take, although the y value covers this, remember, so we take only 1/3 and infinity, so this part for the range value. Again I repeat, why I take this, because I have ignored the negative values of y, all these negative values, because then what will happen, for one value of x there will be two images, and that is actually violating rule number 2 for function. So this is the range for this